Hello everyone, it's me Luke. No, not Jar, Luke. There's gonna be no voice filter, no gameplay, no fancy editing, no nothing like that. Just me trying to explain myself to the best of my abilities. My last response was far from good to say the least. If it wasn't, then so many people wouldn't be clowning on it. I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm taking things seriously for the very first time in my life. I'm dealing with serious allegations, and serious allegations should be taken seriously. Not like my last response where I was joking around far too much. I'm primarily going to focus on the stuff around Synny. There's so many allegations against me that if I go over them all at the same time, this video will just end up being a giant mess. I want to get this out of the way now. The version of the Synny video I uploaded was bad. I would go as far as to say that it was the worst video I ever uploaded. However, I do not believe I would have uploaded this draft of the video if Kumo didn't leak it out first. I want to make this clear. He did not link people my video or just play a few clips from it. He uploaded it in its entirety from start to finish onto his channel. And yes, he did this all before I released the video myself. This was not a re-upload, this was a pre-upload. I do have some proof that I was working on another draft of the video, such as the fact it was uploaded unlisted days before it went live. I did this so I would have plenty of time to think things over on whether I should upload the video or not. I was also sending people the video so they could look it over and give me their thoughts on it. Now I know that some of you are going to call me a liar, because the second draft of my Synny video was already fully edited. However, the first draft of my Synny video, which was more negative towards her, was also fully edited as well. I'll link it down below if you wish to check it out. Here's a clip from it.
The funniest part about all of this is you didn't do what you did with that 14-year-old because you wanted to get with them, you just couldn't stop cooming. You coomed until you groomed. I never even heard of a situation like this happening until now.
It should be noted that I was not happy with that draft of the video as well. I was on Jack's aka Birdie's side way too much in it. Yes, I made this first draft on Synny before I reached out to her. I was talking about grooming allegations, so I wanted to gain as much info as I possibly could. Honestly, I didn't expect Synny to add me back, but she did. I was so ready to tear into you. And this was the day I was going to upload it unlisted for my Patreon supporters, and it was going to go live tomorrow. When I interviewed Synny, I wanted to make it seem like I was on her side as much as possible so she wouldn't run away. I want to make this clear, I wasn't pulling an op on her or anything like that. I was just trying to make sure my information was correct. I told Synny I would be making another version of the video in favor of her before I reached out to Jack and Enno. But, yeah, I'm going to be changing my video a lot, and I'm also gonna have to reach out to Jack because, you know, for all I know, you're
Oh! Have fun with that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the video ready because knowing Jack, they're probably gonna panic and try to control the narrative, like...
Of course, and that's gonna be hilarious, but...
Yes, this was indeed very stupid on my part. I thought because I made a video bashing her before I reached out to her, that I should do the same but in reverse. My roommate, Professor Dreadlock, was also getting ready to go on a very long business trip, so I couldn't go over all of the long Synny documents with him. I have one of the worst cases of dyslexia in the world, so it's very hard for me to read. Professor Dreadlock, on the other hand, is an extremely fast reader. A few people have pointed out that at the start of the Synny draft that I uploaded, I claimed that I went through the doc. That was a lie. It wouldn't have been a lie if that draft didn't get leaked, but I have that recorded because I was going to go through the doc with my roommate before I decided to upload that draft or not. For anyone who knows me personally, you know how slow of a reader I am. You've seen me misspell things multiple times. The idea that I read through both docs very carefully by myself is an absolutely ridiculous notion. In my initial draft, I was just listening to the popular opinion and quickly skimmed the two documents, mostly looking at the pictures on screen. When I heard that there were a few people defending Synny, not saying that she was completely innocent, just that she wasn't as guilty as some were portraying her to be, I decided to reach out to Synny, along with those who were defending her, to get their side of the story as well. After all, I've seen multiple dramas where everybody's bashing one person, only for the entire situation to be reversed later. I didn't want to just side with the popular opinion, only to find out that I spread misinformation later on. But why spend so much time editing the video before I even and look through the 2 documents. I have to plan ahead on these things. After all, adding in my avatar takes a lot more time and effort than just adding in gameplay or recording my face. I knew that this situation was still ongoing and that more information was coming out. I could take my time on this video and remake it over and over again, of course salvaging what I could along the way, or I could just get cold feet and not upload any draft of the video. After I made the first draft, I was not happy with it, so I wanted to remake it after getting Cinny and her friend's side of the story. Then I was going to remake it again after looking at the anti-Cinny side in more detail, and after me and my roommate looked through the doc in more detail. But you already knew all of this if you see my last response. Unfortunately for me, I had no proof of this. I didn't record any calls about this because I never expected my video to get leaked. Until today. I completely forgot what I said about my Cinny video in my call with Vincent Skullman. Ratsu, a person who interviewed me, you might have seen it around, later became friends with me because she came to the conclusion that the drama around me was overblown. I am happy with the friendship I developed with her. She has been extremely understanding and kind to me. She told me that Vincent Skullman sent Lio Convoy our call, and apparently Lio Convoy demanded that Vincent Skullman not upload it under any circumstances. Naratsu could be lying to me, but this did make me listen to the call, and I heard things that really piqued my interest. As you can see from the timestamps on screen, I had this call with Vincent only 15 hours I sent the last part of my Cinny video to my editor Lorenzo. Now I want to make this clear so someone doesn't claim that I lied. I did send Lorenzo a few more parts for the Cinny video after this call, but they were very small changes. This was the last big part I sent to him.
I've been interviewing people, I've been looking into this deeper, and I'm not saying Cinny is innocent, I want to make that clear. It's just more people in this situation are guilty than you might think. The problem is, I know this community. They're going to twist it into me defending a groomer, and I'm like, that's not what I'm doing in the video, and I don't want to talk about it too far anymore with you because, like, I don't want anything to get leaked because I've been working on this for literal weeks, but I have been gathering a lot of information. I have been going back and reworking on the video because I want to make it clear I'm not saying Cinny is innocent.
As you can hear clear as crystal, I was emphasizing to Vincent Skullman that my video's purpose was not to convince people that Cinny was innocent, just less guilty. You can also tell that I didn't want anything to get leaked out because I put so much work into this already. Along with the fact that I stated that I'm going to go back to rework on the video to make it clear I'm not saying that Cinny is innocent. I just wanted to finish what I had for now so I could go over it and see what needed to be changed and what I could salvage.
The first situation I was ever in with this, that I ever got into with this whole community was the Princess Elizabeth 013 drama. And when she was 14, people would send her, like, pictures of Rouge the Bat raping her avatar. People above the age of 30 were doing that, and when I called that out, I got accused of being a pedo, because why else would I defend a 14-year-old? So it's just like, my, have the turns have tabled. The thing is, like, I looked at the comic, the thing is, though, the doc maker didn't censor out anything. It was actually Cinny who sent it out, censored it herself when she sent it. And when I found that out, I was like, wow, that makes things way less bad. It's still pretty bad. It's still pretty bad, but it's not as bad. Like, if you send a minor uncensored porn, it's worse than sending them censored porn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's still overall fucking but it's gonna kind of lessen the blow.
Thanks to reaching out to Cindy and her friends, I could make the information clear that she censored out the doc herself. I did not disagree with Vincent when he said it's still overall, yeah, because I agreed with that. Sending a minor porn of any kind is bad, censored or not, but censoring it is still less bad than sending uncensored porn. At the end of the day, they're both bad, but I wanted to get my information correct.
Here's my opinion. Cinny was very inappropriate. She deserves to get backlash, but I do not think she's a pedo. I don't think she's the next Cosmodor. I don't think she's a pedo because, like, I'm gonna be honest here, I think she would have done this with anyone. I think she's just an Omega Coomer, but she's not, like, a pedo. And that's pretty much my whole take on the situation. The problem is, if you don't say that Cinny is literally the living embodiment of Satan, people will twist it.
Even back then, I didn't believe that Cinny was a pedo or trying to get with the minor, and I have kept that opinion consistent throughout this entire drama around me, and even in my old draft. In my opinion, Cinny was not trying to get with the minor romantically or sexually. She still messed up really, really badly, and she deserves to get bashed for it. Anytime I defended someone who was getting bashed, even a little bit, I always received major backlash. Whenever I have defended someone, whether it's Mari, Antunes, or Peaches, I've never claimed that they were perfect little angels who never did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they're not as guilty as people have portrayed them to be. If you commit a crime, yes, you should be held responsible for it, but you shouldn't be held responsible for a greater crime that you have not committed.
Realistically, I have no issue at this point.
Oh, well, that's good. I wish more people in the ArtCC would do what you do. I wish we could just sit down and have a nice chat over a cup of tea, but, you know, things just have to escalate. And I did thank you for making the video, because I was getting a little overconfident, and when I go into a situation with the expectation that I'm going to lose, that's when I do my best. Like, you know how I got canceled to begin with? I got overconfident in the Toby drama. That's what happened. And you making that video probably saved my ass.
The reason why I thanked Vincent for making his video on me is because I thought it would save me in the long run. Of course, before I could go back and change things to make myself sound less confident, Kumo leaked out the second draft, and I panicked uploaded what I had. Vincent may have saved me, but Kumo doomed me.
Well, I'm glad we could sit down and have this talk, because, like, the main thing I want for people to know is I'm not as mean as people think I am. I'd rather just sit down and talk.
Yep, what I truly want is a peaceful solution to a lot of the situations I find myself in. I just have a habit of pissing people off unintentionally, and I wish I didn't.
No!
No ordinary person would have been able to read them.
No. Kumo sent me a friend request.
Kumo?
Mr. Everybody's a pedophile but me is contacting me.
You can tell that even back then, I knew Kumo being around me wasn't a good thing. Before you ask, no, I did not send Kumo the video. Goblin Girl sent it to him after I told her not to. I told her not to send it to anyone because I was still looking over things.
In this hypothetical, you have a roommate, right?
Yep, alright.
You find out that your roommate is a threat to children, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you A, call the police, or B, ask for $10,000?
Right, okay.
You see what I mean, right?
You know, they should have contacted some form of authority that could, you know, deal with this.
Yeah, like, I find it disgusting that people are talking more about Jack and Cinny's, like, living situation than, like, the fucking minor who may or may not have been groomed.
One of my stances on the drama was that things should have been more focused on the minor Enno, and not on Cinny's relationship with Jack so much. I was also iffy at this point in time whether what Cinny did was grooming or not. I was going to talk to Vincent Skalman about this call, but then I realized that all of his drama videos, including the 2 new ones he made on me, are gone, and both of his Twitters are currently locked. Huh, that's kind of weird. Now you might try to claim that I'm a liar. After all, that's a lot of money to spend on 2 different drafts of a video, so why would I spend even more money on a 3rd draft? Well, the thing is, Lorenzo is just about my cheapest editor. He lives in the Philippines where the US dollar goes very far. $5 to us is about $20 to them. Any payment he asked for, I would give it to him, even after he asked for an extra $100 after I started getting cancelled for the Cinny drama. I just gave it to him, but apparently, from what I have been told, he started going around telling people that I underpaid him, even though I always paid him what we agreed upon. If he wanted more money, he could have always asked for it. Now, Kumo claiming that he uploaded my draft of the video to stop me is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. As far as I'm aware, that has never worked in the history of YouTube, and it doesn't make any sense. Uploading someone else's video onto your channel before they have a chance to upload it themselves doesn't stop them from uploading it. In my last response video, I asked people to show me examples of where this has ever worked, and no one has provided one single example. Personally speaking, I've never even heard of something like this happening before. I do not believe Kumo has any interest in protecting me or the truth. He was trying to convince Cinny that my end goal was to rape her.
Like, I knew how this guy was. I warned you how he was. I told you what position you were in, and I was very conscious and scared on your behalf because of what position you're in. Jar could have raped you, and that's probably what he was trying to, like, That was probably his dream, his end goal.
In my humble opinion, it's far more likely that Kumo did what he did to keep me from reaching out to Jack and Eno to get their sides of the story. Or maybe he looked at this draft of the video and thought, wow, this is terrible, I better upload it in case Jar changes his mind about doing so himself. I'm pretty sure that if I didn't upload what I had, Kumo would have told people that I didn't upload it because I saw the backlash underneath his video. And if I claimed that this was just an early draft of the video, people would have said that I was lying. You can even hear in the last voice message I sent to Cinny that my confidence was pretty much all gone, and that I was getting cold feet about this entire situation. Listen, Cinny, I can't promise this will fix everything for you, or even anything for you. I don't want you to feel like you have a false sense of hope. I'll do what I can, but that's it. I helped Peaches out, but the allegations on you are much more rough. But I'm gonna do what I can to help, because I know this shit is and will leak into your real life. This is part of the reason as to why I freaked out so much in the DMs with Cinny and Goblin Girl after I saw that Kumo uploaded the video himself. My thought process wasn't, oh no, Kumo uploaded the video before I did. I wanted to do that first. My thought process was, oh no, everybody is going to believe that this is my final draft of the video. Now if you don't believe me that I wouldn't have uploaded this video if Kumo didn't do what he did, why is it that the first time I ever receive massive backlash is the same time a draft of my video is leaked? If you think it's just a coincidence, then stars aligned. That's quite a coincidence. I can already hear what the live streamers reacting to this video are saying. Jar, you're just using this as an excuse. Then why give me that excuse? Let me upload the video myself before you leak it, and then bash me for it. I was bashed when I went against the grain in both the Toby and the Princess Elizabeth drama, so I wanted to be careful this time and make draft after draft until the video was perfect. That being said, I shouldn't have made the draft of that video in the first place. A topic this serious, even if I was trying to be careful, is something I should have never gotten involved in, and it's something I should have taken much more seriously. But even after I panic uploaded that draft, in less than 24 hours I took it down because I realized my mistake of uploading it in the first place. I did not double down, but I'm still receiving backlash for it to this day. Why would I tell Vincent that I was going back and forth on things, and that she deserved the backlash if this was supposed to be my final draft of the video? Why would I lie to Vincent? I had nothing to gain or to protect myself from. I just really wanted to finish up this draft so I could use it as a reference, and of course see what I could salvage. That's part of the reason as to why I told my editor Lorenzo to stop adding edits to the call I had with Cinny. When you're working on a heavily edited video, you don't really see how good or bad it is until it's all in front of you. Do you guys really think I looked at this draft of the video and thought to myself, yeah, this is perfect, I should really just upload it as it is? Here are my current thoughts on Cinny. She didn't just speak inappropriately to a minor, she directly got them to engage with her fetish. She was 20 when she did this. She was at an age where she should have known better. I think she wanted to corrupt a minor in the same way she was corrupted when she was 14. She has also done many other inappropriate things with other minors as well. She more than likely would have kept doing stuff like this for years. I still, however, do not believe she had any interest in kids. I do not think Cinny hurts children out of any form of desire for them, or interest in hurting them. I don't think she would have ever asked for nudes of a minor, or to send nudes of herself to a minor. But the fact is, she hurt children. Even if it wasn't out of any form of maliciousness, she still did it. She groomed a minor not to get with them romantically, but to get them to draw art of her fetish, and to get them to read out a comic of her fetish, which is something I didn't know about until later on. I don't think it's right for people to call her a pedo, but she's certainly predatory. As for the allegations of me rizzing up a pedo, this is also false. Cinny herself said she didn't think I was trying to make a pass at her.
I didn't think it was at the time. At the time, I thought it was just being, like, weird. I didn't think it was, like, an actual pass. Like, I was assuming that he was, like...
You're smarter than you're letting on.
Because I just thought it was strange to say, because it's just not something you say.
Because you thought it was a flirt.
Not really, it's just...
Well, then why would it be strange?
I mean, I don't know, it's just not, like, a thing I hear people say very often.
So what else could it have been?
Just him being autistic? I don't fucking know.
So I don't think I was hitting on her, she doesn't think I was hitting on her, and neither does my girlfriend. All three of the people who matter most on whether this was rizzing or not seem to be in agreement with one another. People have told me that they're willing to look past the chicken joke, or the pussycat joke, but they have a hard time believing that the sleepy time calls were not romantic in nature. The thing is though, this only happened once or twice, and they only lasted a couple of minutes. She herself confirmed that we did not goon, and that we mostly talked about Star Wars.
Did you guys goon together at all?
No, what the fuck?
He didn't make it like in your phone calls with him. You guys didn't do anything freaky.
No, he mostly just talked about fucking like Star Wars and shit. And I mostly just talked about my cat, like...
I do not hit on women by telling them about Star Wars lore. Even I have more riz than that. I have enough social awareness to know that if you're going to try to get into a woman's pants, you don't tell her about the 2-hour-long Disney Plus Star Wars show review you're working on. The thought of getting with her, gooning with her, getting her to draw porn of me, or meeting up with her in real life never crossed my mind. I have done quote-unquote sleepy time calls with other people, and yes, that does include my girlfriend. The problem is, she has an early morning shift and she normally passes out long before I do. But here's 3 people aside from my girlfriend that I have also done sleepy time calls with.
Have I ever fell asleep on the phone while talking to you?
Yes.
Out of all the time you've known me, the several months, have I ever made it a pass or an advance or anything like that towards you?
No.
Have I ever done a quote-unquote sleepy time call with you where I fall asleep while chatting with you?
Yes, you have. I wanted to confirm if that was true or not. I think it's pretty obvious you do that. It's weird, but I can understand. I think I suggested ASMR for you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, Via Kui, I want to ask you something. You're a male, right?
Yes.
Do you think I have any romantic interest or attraction to you?
No.
Okay, have I fallen asleep on calls with you?
Yeah.
Definitely more than once.
Yeah.
And you never thought it was a romantic or sexual thing?
No.
And it usually just lasts a couple of minutes. We talk about random shit as I'm laying in bed, and then I say, all right, man, I think I'm going to pass out now. And then you say bye, I stop the call, and then maybe I'll hit you up again, but usually I fall asleep, right?
Yeah.
Okay, are you positive I'm not just, like, leading you on with these responses?
Yes.
In my last response, I told you guys I couldn't explain why I do sleepy time calls. That was a lie. The true reason why I do sleepy time calls is quite embarrassing. Throughout the day I distract myself from my thoughts, whether that's playing video games, going to work, hanging out with friends, or even going for a walk. But when it's time for sleep, I have nothing to distract myself with, and all of those bad thoughts quickly surface all at the same time. I can't look at my phone or the screen will wake me up, and I think about things that make me angry and things that make me anxious. The quote-unquote sleepy time calls are a good way for me to distract myself from these intrusive thoughts. I didn't do this with a lot of people because, well, it seems like a weird thing to do. I did this with my roommate a few times, but he was off on a business trip. I really didn't want this getting out there, but now it's out there, so I can do all the sleepy time calls I want to do with people now. I knew for a fact that people would find it weird, but I really don't see a problem with it. All it is me laying in bed talking to someone about some random topic as I slowly pass out, and then I hang up. I think people are overreacting to this a little bit too much, especially when they put a romantic spin on it. However, I still shouldn't have done this with someone I was looking into with a topic this serious. It won't happen again. If Kumo truly did believe that I had romantic interest in Cinny, he could have set me up, get me to quote-unquote confess my love to her, and then I would have no way of backing out of it. I think he didn't do this because he knew I would say, sorry, I'm not into you like that. Here's what I think happened. Kumo might have had a thing for Cinny. Not saying it was a romantic thing, but him calling her sweetheart was definitely an odd thing for him to do. He realized he was in over his head trying to defend Cinny. I don't believe he was saying she was totally innocent, just less guilty like I was. And once he got his hands on my video, he knew he could use me as the fall guy. He released it so I wouldn't have a chance to remake it or reach out to Jack and Enno. He then got Cinny to send him her DMs with me. Then he proceeded to release it to everyone without my or her permission first. When I was asked for my DMs with Cinny, the first thing I said was, let me ask her for permission first. When I realized she sent them to Kumo, it absolutely shocked me and caught me off guard. The original accusation that I was simping for Cinny originally came from Kumo, and according to him, he Cinny did it to stop me from raping Cinny. Kumo and Goblin Girl did what they did to get the hate off of themselves, but it didn't work. Kumo, Goblin Girl, Cinny, and Jack are now all gone. I was very stupid with how I handled this situation. But out of everything in this drama around me, people saying that I cheated on my girlfriend hurts the most of all. So, mind if I ask you, do you think I'm the type of person who would cheat on my girlfriend?
No, I think anybody with a functional brain can tell you're quite the opposite. You get very worried about upsetting her, even like the tiniest amount. There's no way in hell you would ever cheat on her. That's obvious to anybody who's spoken to you for even a couple minutes. Having known you for months, in my experience, I can say no.
Listen to my voice. Listen to the way I talk. Do I really sound like the kind of guy who just sleeps around with women all the time? No, of course not. Obviously, I'm the type of guy who is so happy when a woman gives me the chance that I won't try anything to mess it up. My girlfriend is absolutely wonderful. She is amazing, and I'm so happy that she can love me despite my flaws. I never thought I would meet a woman like that. It's not okay for you guys to make statements about me cheating on my girlfriend with such flimsy evidence, or for a handful of you to try to gaslight her into thinking I cheated on her. I've been cheated on before. It's not a fun thing to go through, and I would never put someone else through that same pain. As for me claiming that Cinny's avatar, along with the avatars of other people, are attractive, yeah, of course they are. They're artistically pleasing to look at. If someone has an attractive avatar, that does not mean I want to get with them. That is absolutely ridiculous and silly. I can't even believe I'm having this conversation right now. This is such a weird and bizarre thing for people to focus in on. I've never even heard of someone else dealing with something like this. I never asked nor looked for an image of what Cinny looked like in real life. Now I've seen what she looks like in real life, and I'm gonna be honest here, I'm not interested. The idea that I saw her avatar, fell in love with her, and then decided to protect her so she would get with me so I could do things to her unconsensually is an absolutely ridiculous and stupid idea. After everything happened with the Cinny drama, a bunch of people came out of the woodworks, and Gish galloped by hitting me with as many allegations as they could. Most famously of which are the allegations from Chaco. Chaco made the claim that she had a perfect memory from a call that happened over 4 years ago. Gotta admit, that's pretty impressive. I struggle to remember a call I had with Vincent Skullman just a couple of weeks ago. Unsurprisingly, this call was unrecorded. She made the claim that I asked her to draw my avatar, raping J Animation's avatar. I do consider this to be a strange claim, especially when we consider the fact that I've never requested rape porn of my character before or after this. Chaco did show evidence that I got her to draw Jade Animations lifting up her shirt when she was 17 and a half. I do not know how you go from requesting rape porn to ending up with a picture that could fit in a thumbnail. I think I was going to use this for a thumbnail about Jaden porn, but I decided not to because I thought it would be in bad taste. Some people have pointed out I said you drew porn of her for me as a way to claim that I lied. The thing is though, this was for a thumbnail about Jade Animations porn, so of course it's going to be pornographic in nature. She told me that she was 17 at the time when she drew it, and I just didn't know how to react. This was the day before Christmas, so the next day I spent time with my family and kind of forgot about it. I didn't know Chaco's age at the time, and I should have asked for it. After Chaco released her doc on me, she blocked me, and I do not know why. She was always the one trying to talk to me for years, and I always gave her short responses. Sometimes they were as short as one word. I went over this in my last response, and a few people have been making the claim that I said everything in her document was true. I never said that in my last response. Every time I've asked someone for an example of this, they either went back and watched it, realized they were wrong, and apologized, or they would just call me a liar and not even bother to check. I guess this is one of those famous examples of me quote-unquote self-reporting. The idea that I just really wanted rape porn then and there and couldn't wait for her to turn 18, and then I proceeded to never do it again. She went on to not talk to anyone about this, and then proceeded to constantly try to get into contact with me. All just seems a bit ridiculous. This story does not add up at all. Something I did not go over in my last response is my whole interaction with a 16-year-old girl at the pool. I didn't think I needed to go over this originally, but a lot of people have been commenting about it. Some people, like Chuli, have even made the claim that I got an erection from seeing the 16-year-old girl at the pool.
One thing I feel isn't brought up enough, and something Jar hasn't responded to, is how how he admitted to not being able to go to public pools because underage 16-year-old girls might show up and he won't be able to stop himself from leering at and daydreaming about them, causing himself to get an erection.
That's what they say happened. Now let's listen to what I actually said.
Like, can I tell you the worst part about being a guy? I'm at the pool, just relaxing. 16-year-old girl shows up in her bikini. I realize I have to get the fuck out of there right now because, like, I'm not going to be paying attention. I'm going to daydream. I'm going to look in her general direction, and then suddenly a situation is going to happen. So I realize, like, whenever I see a 16-year-old girl in a bikini while I'm at the pool, I'm like, whoop, time to go home.
I never implied that I got an erection or any other form of arousal. If you get a boner in the pool, the last thing you should do is get out of the water. For obvious reasons, I think all the men in my audience already know the answer to this. The story about me and the 16-year-old was something I just made up to give Cindy an example that it's harder for guys to deal with allegations like this. And with how people are reacting to this made-up story of mine, it kind of proves my point. But if you don't want to believe me that it's made up, alright then, how did I know she was 16? What, did you think I went up to her and got her ID? How old was I when this happened? For all you guys know, I could have been 17, 16, or even 12. In my hypothetical story, I said I didn't want to get accused of being a creep. A lot of people have twisted this story into me saying that I couldn't control my urges. I never said nor implied that, and it's very weird that people's minds are going there. If this was the case, I would never admit to something like this. When I brought up daydreaming, I wasn't talking about daydreaming about the girl, I was talking about daydreaming in general. I zone out sometimes and just stare off into the distance. Sometimes it does freak people out. I can't believe I said I would look in their general direction and they changed that to me leering at them, or that I claimed that I couldn't go to public pools. Any allegation against me would have been made sooner if people were confident that they were true, but people only came out about this stuff when I was less likely to fight back. Not an honorable move, but an effective one. People are right about a few things when it comes to me. I overshare, and that's the last thing you want to do when people are bashing on you. I'm an absolute pussy in live debates, and I fold way too fast. I've also said stupid things that made me look worse than I really am, like when I said that revenge sometimes feels like it's the only thing that keeps me going, when it actually isn't. Let's ask someone I quote-unquote tried to get revenge on for 7 years. Lulu, the person in the video about my past. Hello, Lulu Bell, or Lulu as I know you. We were in a drama around the Princess Elizabeth drama 10 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one question I have for you is when I finally made my video, quote-unquote, getting revenge, and I talked about what you guys did to me, and we finally got into contact, did I yell at you, scream at you, or try to spread false information about you?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember any false information stuff.
Okay, well, the problem is people keep saying I'm a guy who wants to get revenge on everyone, like an eye for an eye kind of thing, but I really just want to talk about what happened to me, and I just want you to know that I never wanted to do to you what happened to me.
Yeah, no, I get that. I feel like you've already addressed a lot of the stuff that I was uncomfortable with initially when stuff was coming out.
Yep.
But we're like really relaxed, and I don't actually see what people mean by the revenge thing, because like I'm probably arguably one of the people you should hate the most.
Like I did refer to it as revenge because I didn't know what else to call it, but it's more maybe closure or whatever. And me and you have talked things out and I got closure, and honestly to me that's way better outcome than me just hurting you, because me hurting you wouldn't have brought me peace.
Yeah, I can understand that.
The fact of the matter is, I didn't spend years of my life just trying to get revenge or bash someone at the perfect time. I just wanted to talk about what happened to me. Me and Lulu Bell are friends now, and she makes art for me. I'm a forgiving person at heart, and I forgave her for everything. All the hatred I'm receiving isn't fun to deal with, but if I'm going to stay on YouTube, I just have to get used to stuff like this. I understand that I talk funny and say things in a very bizarre way. Don't lie to yourself. When you hear me talk, the only thing you can think of is how I'm an easy target. You think I don't know? I get it. It's funny to mock someone like me. And it's smart to paint me as much as an awful person as you can, so your hatred for me seems justifiable. Plenty of people couldn't wait for my downfall. They just lacked a reason, and now they have it. But all of this is a little overblown in my book. Moving forward, I'll be more careful with how I handle situations like this, and of course I'm going to be using a script more often. I'm not just doing this for me, but I'm also doing it for the people I care about. I can't control what everybody is saying about me, but I can control how I act from here on out. I'm going to get back to reviewing movies and shows I really want to talk about. I want to thank everybody who gave their lines for this second response. I hope everybody who has made it to this point of the video has a good day, and in case I don't see ya, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.